started, if you'll please stand for the opening exercises led tonight by Miss Ansel. Would you join me, please, in the pledges? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, is the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. Would you bow with me in prayer, please? Our most gracious Lord and Savior, Father, we thank you so much for this beautiful day, a little reprieve from the wind. Father, we thank you for all of the hard-working, diligent people that we have in this district. We're so blessed. Thank you for the kids. They give 110% to make Ludington look good, to put us on the map. They do everything they can to be successful and innovative and compassionate, Father. Please be with us as we make decisions that affect this district. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. We do have a quorum tonight, so I'll call the meeting to order. And are there any adjustments to tonight's agenda? Okay, do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda with flexibility? Okay. All right, and we love when we look out here and see a lot of special guests. And so I'm going to turn it over to the superintendent, who's going to recognize each of you. I am going to ask that sponsors, when your group is up here, would you either introduce your students or have them introduce themselves as we move through this? So thank you.
Okay, good afternoon or evening. Thank you for being here. So I have several groups. It's just because that's how awesome the Wildcats are. The first group I'd like to recognize is our Student Council, Levington High School Student Council. Levington sent 18 students to Albuquerque to represent the school. Lexi Kilpatrick is our very own, who served as the state president for this school year and last summer. And Stuco presented 2 projects, and I'll have you talk about those in a second. One was May the Cookies Be With You, and The Quack Awakens. They also, and they received 3rd place for May the Cookies Be With You, and they received 2nd place with The Quack Awakens. They also received Platinum Council of the Year, which is a report submitted every year that showcases what our student council does and how they are meeting all the expectations for the year. Platinum is a designation given when a school is able to make gold 3 years in a row and continue to receive that designation. We have been platinum for 3 years, which is pretty awesome. So Mr. Payne is the student council's advisor, and yes, they are very active, and I'm very proud of this group of kiddos. And Mr. Payne has served in many state officer positions, and so we'll have him talk a little bit about that. So if you guys want to go ahead and present, yes. Yes, turn that on.
This is Edwin Brazza. He's our student body president. So I'll let him say most of the stuff. But our state conference theme this year was a Star Wars theme. It's the Leadership Awakens. So every year the schools pick a thing, and so that's where the titles of our projects came from. Star Wars themes.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars. You can start with the binder thing.
Okay. I think you should do it.
Okay.
Because I've not done this before.
So this is just a binder that we present. It's an annual report that we do to the state. It's optional for schools to do, but it basically just says what we do for the year, the projects we commit. There's 10 categories. We do 9 of the 10. We don't do environmental for some reason, but we just never have.
Yeah, not yet.
So, but we do that along with our participation and all the other stuff that we have to do. So it's fun for them to do. But it shows us that we're doing our meetings and everything correctly. So that's where the platinum comes from. Then you can explain the projects.
Yes, our first one was the cookie?
Yeah, I made the cookie.
May the cookie be with you, something along those lines. I love that project so much. So the goal of this was to spread a positive message during our holiday season, which of course was Christmas, and share our positivity with our teachers and staff because they are vital. Our staff is absolutely vital, and we respect every single one of them. So we wanted to give them a little treat for the little holidays. Our other project was
Oh, and we worked with Miss
Hudson.
No
Irons.
FCCLA.
Yes,
Make the
at the
cookies for
CLA,
staff.
yes. They made a bunch of cookies. A bunch. Trays. I'm talking huge trays, guys. I'm not kidding. Our other project was like something quack.
Oh, the quack away.
The quack.
Oh, made the quack.
What was it?
Jug for joy.
We were close. Duck for joy. We were real close. Duck for joy. Now, this came from Mr. Payne's brain. Brilliant. I mean, it's a way to spread, again, positivity because that is the main goal of Student Council, to spread spirit and positivity. The goal of this was to, hide around little duckies everywhere, and they were real rubber ducks everywhere, and they were really cute rubber ducks. I'm kidding. I'm talking, we had one that was a dragon, one that was a princess, one that was an alien, another one that was a bear, a unicorn, so on and so on. They were cute rubber ducks, and we would hide them in places, and students would go out and look for them, and I'm talking kids had 15 ducks. That's the most that I saw.
Yeah, they really liked collecting those. So it was just a way to kind of improve and make a little bit of joy for September. But, yeah.
That's
Great. They've done a great job. They represent us very well at the state level and at the district level. So, and our kids are very active in this organization and hold offices for the state. So, very proud of them. They're going to get a certificate for the council for displaying confidence and critical thinking, which is two of our attributes for the fortune of the Wildcat.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you. We go now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next group that I'd like to honor is our English Expo group. We are in our 5th year sending this competitive group to state. English Expo represents Wildcat Nation very well since the very first year, earning at least 20 medals a year. They have competed virtually, and this was the first year for them to go up to Albuquerque there live to compete in person. They compete against all classifications and come back with medals, and some are state champions. Ms. LaRoe is our head advisor for this organization, and I believe there's other staff that assist her with it. So I will turn it over to our English Expo group to talk a little bit about what you guys did, and we do have some state champions in this group. And I believe this group this year received over 20 medals brought back home. So, okay, go for it.
Thank you. Of course. Well, thank you for inviting us to tonight's board meeting. English Expo would like to express our appreciation to the Lovington Municipal School administrators for the wonderful pancake breakfast before we headed to competition. So for that, we have a thank you letter from Mr. Robert Dela Cruz.
English Expo is also very appreciative of Mr. Kirk Murad for his support in paying our registration fees, arranging for our food, making our lovely hotel accommodations, and encouraging us by telling us we want you to win. So we also have a card for Mr. Murad.
We also want to thank our wonderful principal, Mr. Trey Williams, who along with Mrs. Sabrina Gonzalez and Mr. Chris Otto unfailingly support us. And here is their thank you letter.
Our very special thanks to Mrs. Kelly Howell for providing Team LHS with team shirts for the English Expo competition. So we also have a card for her. Very special thanks to our kind and wonderful bus driver, Miss Marie Huffman, who got us safely to competition and back home with a happy ride and very gracious bathroom breaks.
our sponsors to please stand. All of our thanks to Mr. Chris Otto, Mrs. Kelly Howe, Mrs. Bethany Schaus, Mr. Joseph Maxey, Mrs. Dora Yasassi, Mr. Matt Payne, Mr. Noah Marshall, and our coach, Mr. Nerlo, who accompanied us on this trip to serve as judges. New Mexico English Expo requires us to provide one adult judge for every 5 competitors we send. Without these judges giving up their weekend to accompany us and serve at English Expo, we could not have competed.
Good job.
Although not all our English Expo members were able to be here, the ones who are would like to show you a bit of their award-winning work. So we'll start off with the 5th place winners.
Thank you. He doesn't read. No pictures.
Hi, my name is Mario Rosales. I went 5th place in my book cover, Lord of the Flies.
Oh, very good. Is it acrylic?
With salt and a little bit of pastel paintings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Very nice.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Juarez. I placed 5th in photographic essay.
Photographic what?
Photographic essay.
Okay. Did you bring any of your
I got that wrong. I'm so sorry. I placed 5th in poster.
That's okay.
And now our 4th place winners.
Hi, my name is Valerie Najera. I won 4th place in short story fantasy. I just basically write a story while we're over there, and they grade it there, and they give me a medal.
That's great. Wow. Good for you.
You just wrote it right there? Yes.
Good job. Off the cuff. Wow.
So my name is Daisy Gutierrez, and I won 4th place for book cover.
Oh,
I did my book
nice.
cover on Lord of the Flies.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good too. Very good.
My name is Deshae Howell, and I got 4th place on business letter.
Great. This is so cool.
Elizabeth Juarez, and this time, I placed 4th for photographic essay.
Oh, okay.
And now our 3rd place winners.
My name is Max Munoz, and I made 3rd place in traditional storytelling, in which I told the story of Goldilocks.
Good.
Hi, my name is Deshae Howell. I did a poster, an informative speech on why Disney movies were valued, and this is the poster I did.
So you had to prepare that ahead of time?
Yes.
Okay, and so you knew what your topic was and everything?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now our 2nd place winners.
I love this.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Duran, and I won 2nd place for a poetry recitation, where basically I recite a poem I memorize, and I won 2nd place.
You get to pick your poem, or there are parameters that you, okay.
I got to choose my poem, and I chose Annabelle Lee by Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, nice, nice.
My name is Alexis Jahar, and I got 2nd place in informative speaking. My topic was about robotics, and I had also done another competition with the poster. Unfortunately, I didn't win on that one though.
Oh,
That is
that's nice.
Very good.
Okay.
Good job.
This is so cool.
My name is Eddie Rodriguez, and I got 2nd place in children's book. And this made the judges cry.
So we get to look at it? I promise we'll give it back. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Daniela Marquez, and I got 2nd place for my photographic essay, and what I did it based off of was how I like to escape reality with watching movies. So I presented the Lee County Theater and
That's cool.
other photos that correlate it with mine.
Wow. Good job.
I'm sure the theater was going to like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My name is Devin Hill. I participated in also book, but I didn't place in that one, but I would like to show you it still.
Okay.
And I got second place in written presentation where I go and I write a sentence in print, cursive, and calligraphy. And I got a second.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's a lost art. We will absolutely get this back.
And now we have our first place winners for state champions for English Expo. My name is America, and I won first place for storytelling traditional, where you take a story that you want to share and you just say it with emotion and with range. And I won a first place medal for that.
Yay.
I won first place in original storytelling, and that one also made the judges proud.
What goes into the original storytelling? Like your own story?
It's from I take a story from my personal
Okay.
life and tell it to a story.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm Abigail Schaus, and I competed in team dialogue and vocabulary. I got first place in team dialogue, where you're in a team of 2, and they give you a prompt, and we have to make a script for that prompt.
In a like a time period, right? Yeah.
Yes. They gave us an hour to use it.
That's cool.
I'm Jackson Bell. I'm participated in team dialogue with Abigail Schaus. She did most of the writing. I did most of the typing for her.
Teamwork. There you go. That's great. That is, I can imagine.
At '04, I'm Daisy Gutierrez, and I won first place in poster. This is the poster I made.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Oh, holy cow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
How long did that take you?
A while.
Ah.
It's been a long time.
And then protecting it while you get it up there. Yeah. So that is amazing.
Good job.
Thank you guys.
So, America. So English Expo is receiving their chapter a certificate for displaying confidence and communication at the latest competition. So good job. Good job.
As I told Miss LaRoe earlier, I love when you guys are on the agenda because it's such a neat thing. And when you started doing it a few years ago, it's just a lot of fun to see something so creative and yet honestly a very great skill set for you guys to carry forward in other things you do in life. So thank you to the sponsors and congratulations to all the students. Very talented. So that's exciting.
Yes, thank you. Our next group is DECA. So Mr. Crawford is the head advisor. And we had a great team of students represent us at state in which they had to qualify to compete at the state at a previous competition. We had 5 of our 13 students qualify for the state competition. And we had, let's see, that's not true. Hold on just a second. There are over 300,000 students nationwide. And this is a career and technical student organization. It empowers high school students with invaluable business skills, real-world experiences, preparing them for future success. This is also a fairly new chapter, and we thought we were just going to ease our way into it, but no, they proved us wrong. They just go up there and collect these medals. Out of the 5 students competing, we had 2 students qualify for the national competition, and those 2 students will be talked about later on as they're going to be approving or trying to get approval from the board to travel outside the state. So, Mr. Crawford, would you like to say a little something about your group of kids?
Absolutely.
Go ahead and sit down, sweetie.
We have 18 kids in our chapter, and 13 of the 18 qualified for state, which is a pretty phenomenal number. And then out of the 13, we had 5 qualify for the finals, Introduce yourself here in a bit. Not only did she qualify last year, she qualified this year as well. So it's amazing. It was wonderful to be able to go up there and see these young men and young women compete. There was over 1,100 competitors that they were competing against, and you're looking at the best in Lovington, New Mexico, and New
That's
Mexico
great.
right here. So that is absolutely awesome. I am so proud of the way they performed, even when they were nervous and. It's nerve-wracking being able to. I don't care how much you practice. When you go get in front of somebody brand new and having to talk about your event, and it's all role play stuff. They have to take several tests just to get to qualify for state. And once you get there, you have to role play. And so they'll give you a business scenario depending on what your event is, and then you have 10 minutes to come up formulate a plan on your business scenario. So you have to think quick on your feet. And then you go before a judge, and the judges are all people from that industry, whether it be accounting or finance or business management, marketing, sales, whatever. And so they will ask you questions from the real world. So sometimes you can blow smoke at people that they don't know what's going on. But these folks were very, very good at their profession, and so they had to know what their stuff was. And so it's absolutely awesome to see these young people compete. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and what event that they were competing in.
Okay.
Alvaro Prats, I was competing in Principles of Finance.
Marely Valdez in Accounting Application Series.
My name is Anneli Vizcarra, and I competed in Accounting Application Series as well. And I am a 2-time second place winner and a 2-time international and state qualifier.
Yeah. My name is Joshua Teague, and I was in Personal Financial Literacy.
My name is Sheridan Faust, and I was in the professional selling event.
And the Sheridan and Annalise, as she said, both of them qualified for the International DECA Conference. It's going to be taking place, and they're going to be talking about.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. That's exciting.
Wonderful.
That's amazing. Thank you, guys. That is so great.
And the DECA chapter is getting a certificate for displaying confidence and communication in their last endeavors. So these are our state champions. So congratulations. And good luck to you, Sheridan, and you, Annalise, you guys represent us internationally. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. That's so cool.
Our next group is our robotics team, and they are coached by Mrs. Dale Cruz and Mr. Nathaniel Dale Cruz. They always do a great job, amazing job representing Lovington schools wherever they go in the state. And when they compete against other state schools and also schools in Texas in an earlier competition. They are a hardworking group of students who put in a lot of hours, and we have a team qualifying for nationals. And so I'll let you guys introduce yourselves, and you'll talk about it, please.
I'm Seamus Van Cleve. I am a 12th grader. I'm the lead engineer for the robotics team. We place second overall for the competition for state. And since we placed second overall, we are allowed to go into a further competition, which will be in Indiana, which is not the highest competition, but the second best. And it will allow us to gain more experience and possibly show what Lovington is capable of.
My name is Marcos Mendoza. I'm a 12th grader as well, and I'm the robots engineer.
My name is Hector Burciaga, and I'm a senior as well, and I'm an engineer as well. Just help with building the robot.
I'm Fabian Valenzuela. I am the robots driver.
I'm Alexis DeHara, and I kind of just work on everything.
You're the all-around mate. Okay.
My name is Brandon Gonzalez. I'm a senior, and I'm the coder of our team.
Are you all seniors?
Yes.
Oh, man. That's a neat way to... A lot of pressure on those underclassmen, huh? So that's fantastic.
So this group of seniors, they worked on the robot in class. So this was an in-class project, and they worked on it. They started back in September, and every day they came in and worked. Some days harder than others, but over the course of the long semester, they did really well. They went to their first competition, and it was a rough start, but the second competition, they were motivated and they did really well. So we're really proud of them as coaches, and we appreciate the school board support as well as our administrator support. And then we'll, I guess, address the the travel.
Yeah, we can do that a little bit, yeah. So.
I want to say that I'm very proud of these individuals. We got there and we had an autonomous which autonomous means it goes by itself. The robot would go by itself. And by the end of the tournament, they had 3 or 4 autonomous going. We had Brandon here that sweated it out the whole entire time. And we've got Fabian he's the driver. He drove the whole entire time. And I think the whole entire time they were sweating and they were nervous. And if you ever look at our pictures, we have a booth with Pepto-Bismol.
Y'all are too young for that.
Very hardworking.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I would like to add really quickly that they actually, they did get second, but they were the first in New Mexico. The team that they lost to, the 2 teams that they unfortunately lost to, were actually teams from Mexico. And they actually won the overall Mexican championship. So
Wow.
they were the best in all of Mexico. So they did really, really great. And were the best in the state.
And we lost by 15 points.
Yes, very close.
Wow. That's great. Thanks, guys.
And they're receiving a certificate to the robotics team for displaying confidence, critical thinking, and adaptability. So, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. 2 more. It's so hard, when you have so much talent. There are 4 detention centers in the state that houses and serves our students academically. We are one of the 4. The number has decreased from across the state, and I don't know the whole, what was the number? 18 detention centers to 4. We are required to provide an educational experience for our detainees, and they are also state tested. Mr. Calderon, will you come up here, please? He has served as an instructor at the detention center for many years. He is very dedicated to this mission as he volunteers past his contract hours to make sure all students are able to receive instruction. You will also find him in the summer months going to the detention center to check on our students, provide instruction, and simply just checking on their progress. I visited the detention center a couple of times, and I was able to witness him teaching. And I was so amazed at his passion and what he does and the respect that is held by the detainees there toward Mr. Calderon. Tonight I wanted to honor him and let him know that we appreciate his service and how he goes above and beyond on what he's assigned to do. It is truly a calling. Not everybody can do that job. So thank you for demonstrating adaptability and integrity. And I will call Mr. Mates up here also to say something. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad the robotics team is here because we think that Joe might be a robot. He's a few years older than me, but he never stops. And he truly cares about kids. And what I consistently hear from him is, these are good kids. They're good kids. And, for him to be able to make that connection and that bond with kids, it's rare. So we really do appreciate it. He's such an asset to Lexington Schools. And we hope he continues for a long time.
Mother Nature is not kind to him. I'm 83 years old, so I don't have
Well, will you stand there so we can take a picture with you and Mr. Mapes? Yes. Thank you, Mr. Calderon. You do an amazing job.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Last but not least, his laces. LACES is our Lovington Autism Center for Educational Services, where you will find over 30 staff members serving our students with autism, pouring out their hearts and doing so with a smile. It is a busy place where a lot is going on at one time. Our students are provided an education in a structured and loving environment. Students may attend LACES all day, or they're scheduled in throughout the day to meet the needs of their individualized educational plan. Let's watch this video real quick for some more information.
That's cool.
I would love to recognize Luis Gomez as the creator of this video. He has done an amazing work getting our stories out. And I've asked the LACES group to be here today because it is my honor to let you know that the LACES has won a national award, the Magna Award, for their service to our students with autism. LACES will be showcased on the national stage in April, featured in the National School Board Association magazine. This video will go national at the national conference, and they will get to share their story to others in the nation in a breakout session. So let me read the press release to you. 3 school districts earned top honors in the 2025 Magna Awards, and Magna is the highest recognition you can get. New Mexico's Lovington Municipal Schools, California Compton Unified School District, and Maryland's Charles County Public Schools are the grand prize winners in the 30th Annual Magna Awards program, sponsored by the National School Board Association and the Future magazine, American School Board Journal. The Magna Awards recognize school districts and their leaders for innovative, out-of-the-box thinking to address district challenges. The Magna Awards celebrate the incredible innovation and leadership of school districts that are finding creative solutions to complex challenges. This year's winners demonstrate the profound impact that visionary school boards and educators have on their communities, from the expanding mental health services to promoting college access and supporting students with autism. We are honored to showcase their outstanding work and hope they inspire others to think boldly in the support of student success. Lovington won the under 5,000 enrollment. New Mexico Lovington Municipal Schools, LACES, is a specialized program that provides instruction and support services to the students diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. So if our LACES group that are here representing, if you will come up here, this is a huge, huge, huge honor. And we are very, very proud to send our LACES group to the national stage. And Mrs. Maker, would you like to say something?
Like I said earlier, it's just an honor for us as a board to represent what you all do. You do the work, and the program speaks for itself and stands on its own. But what an honor it is to be able to represent you all, and I can't think of enough ways to say thank you for what you do for our students. But as the board has always said, all children can learn. It's just we work really hard in this district to make sure that all children have the right learning environment so that they have the best opportunity to reach their full potential, and you guys certainly set the standard for that. So thank you very, very much for what you do for our students. We appreciate it.
You know, I've been lucky enough to work with them for the last 10 years. And just the amount of things that these three ladies and gentlemen do with our students and all the IAs has just been, I mean, story after story of success that they've done for our students that pretty much in the past would have been given up on. So if it wasn't for them, there's a lot, you know, like Coach was saying in the video, I mean, the sports, I mean, it's a fantastic problem they have because we send people that help those kids out if they need it. And so, but if it wasn't for them and giving those kids that confidence, we wouldn't have, it wouldn't be, those kids would not be where they're at. So I just say thank you to this group right here. Fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. You guys are amazing. We're so proud of you so much. Thank you. So proud of you.
Well, this has been a really fun part of our board meetings. There are districts that don't really think that student recognition is an important piece. And when people talk to us about how do you run your board meetings, we're like, we always recognize students and staff because that's what we're here for. So thank you to all of you. And we all know that it doesn't happen with family support. So thank you to the family members that make sure the kids are able to do what they need to do. And with that, I think we'll take just a 5-minute recess, and anyone that wants to continue to stay is welcome to, but those of you that might have something else you'd like to go do, you're welcome to do that. Please grab a cookie before you leave. So, all right, thank you guys.
Include us?
Yeah. Everybody get their cookie to sustain? Okay. Yeah, they are good. And the building's gonna tilt, because here we are. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move into information, the director's reports, and I'm gonna open it up to board members for questions. Ms. Ansel, did you have any? For reports?
No.
I just had a couple of them on the enrollment. Is that the 140 day? No?
As of like 3/6.
Okay, so close. Yeah, because what was 143?
But it hadn't been consolidated.
Okay, I mean 120. Yeah, okay.
Maybe we could jump to 140.
Okay, okay. And Tanya, would you mind expanding just a little bit more on the disclosure summary? I wasn't, just for clarification, I mean, not a deep dive.
This is filed every year for our bond disclosures.
Right.
It's basically a report that AccuDisclose prepares for us.
Okay. Okay.
I just thought you might like that nice little information.
And you always do a good job of sharing that, and I thought, okay, I just want to make sure that we all were on board with what it was. So, okay, thank you.
I was astounded at how much the assessed valuation has gone up since 2021 to 2024. Just in that, it's almost doubled in that amount of time.
It's amazing. So it's very good.
Thank you, Tanya.
People can't afford homes.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move to the superintendent's updates. Do you have any additional information?
No.
Nothing you're hearing from the legislature that, of course, everything's still in limbo.
I think they're scrambling because next Friday is the last day. There's a couple bills that have died that we've been watching, so.
Okay.
And then some that have gone through.
Yeah.
Are going through.
All right. Well, appreciate you staying in the loop on that. So, any other questions from the board on our reports? Okay. If not, then let's move right on into routine matters. Take items 1 through 4 as part of the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve those items as presented?
So moved.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Next item, budget adjustments.
There are 2 budget adjustments for your approval. One was added pretty late today.
I was just saying, that one slid in. That's good.
It came in late this afternoon.
Great.
So, yes, ma'am.
Great. Questions from the board?
That, the one that slid in, what is that exactly?
They are truing up the budget for FY 24-25. So whenever people don't spend all of their budget, they'll redistribute it among the districts.
Thank you.
So, did we spend all our money, or are they going to take it away and send it to somebody else?
We're going to spend all of our money.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Good. Lots of things moving. Great, great. All right, any other questions? Thank you, Tanya. Do I hear a motion to approve the bars as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Next item, bids. Oh, should have just had you stay up there, Tanya.
We do have bids for ancillary. You can see all of the acceptance, and then the RFP for the special audit.
Okay. Questions from the board? On the RFP, the dollar amounts, we don't have those yet. We do?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And I'm working on the contract.
Okay, because
it's going to be negotiated.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, because I noticed you used a rubric for it, so, okay. And then you'll just share that. Okay, thank you very much. And the only other one I had, I guess really is more for Roger. for a sped teacher bid. I don't remember us ever doing that before. Is that?
We have for the last several years.
Okay, I slept through it, I guess.
Yeah, actually, we have three teachers that are contract right now in our district.
Okay, so that is positions that we cannot
That's correct.
fill.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the positions are all, that we do.
Are they still posted
Yes.
so that should they get filled? Okay.
They should be, and then once we get those, and so like those positions will be reposted again.
Okay.
For the next upcoming school year.
Okay.
So when you see those postings and it's not on the thing about retirements on it, that's what the positions are.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. I just saw that and I thought, okay, there's a logical reason for that. I just hadn't
Yeah,
noticed.
we have one at high school, one at Taylor, and one at sixth grade academy.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I hear a motion to accept the bids as presented?
A second.
Okay. All right, thank you. We don't have any, but we do have one donation, you'll notice there for after grads. So do I hear a motion to approve the donation as presented? Okay. We always appreciate that local support for that. Okay, thank you. We're going to move on into new business. First item, consider approval of integrated math pathway.
So this item 1 and 2 go together.
Okay.
New graduation requirements, Algebra 2 has been eliminated. However, as we look at our math performance over time at the high school, at the secondary level, we want to make a change because obviously what we're doing isn't working. And so we feel like we have students who are so far behind that we need to address them in a different way or give students an option to improve their math in a different way. And so we would like to propose that we have an integrated math pathway separate from the Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2 pathway. And so we believe that the integrated pathway will help move students more quickly than if they were in a traditional Algebra 1 class as freshmen. And so we have done some research and found a new, our math program as it is, we use Sabas. And so we did a lot of research, couldn't really find anything for the integrated pathway because it is new for New Mexico as an approved graduation pathway. And so we reached out to them and they in fact have a new integrated curriculum that they were willing to let us pilot next year for the incoming freshmen, for those who aren't ready for Algebra 1. And so they said they would be willing to work with us on this new pathway if we were willing to do professional development. And we, of course, are willing to do professional development, so we know how to be successful with this program. And I want you to think about when a few years ago when we went to STEM scopes for science, and we've gotten great results. And the achievement level has gone up because we're doing science differently. It's not just only biology, only chemistry, that we're integrating all of those math. And so I did an attachment for you so you could see how it progresses, how the focus is on students being able to really have the inquiry and then also have small groups, how it's more self-directed so you can do the grouping in the integrated math where teachers, the students would use a device or a textbook, but it is a way to help our students get further faster and fill in some gaps, we believe. And so we would like to propose an integrated pathway for students who are interested. You wouldn't be locked in. If you took, as a freshman, you took integrated 1, then maybe you are ready then to
go to geometry and on. Let's say a student starts as a freshman in Algebra 1 and they just are struggling or want an alternative pathway. Perhaps they want to do work-based learning, and it would work better for them to have an integrated type of math, so they get many levels of math as opposed to just locked into geometry, let's say. And so we're not going to be static.
They can go back and forth, okay,
If
based on
what works best for them and
counselor
their
recommendation.
and where their pathway initially where they want to end up.
So who decides?
I'm sorry?
Who decides who goes in the program?
Well, what we're doing right now is we're recommending that the 8th graders who are 2 or 3?
3 grade levels behind.
3 grade levels behind, we're making a recommendation to their family that they be in the integrated pathway. Anybody else could elect to be in the integrated pathway or in Algebra 1. If they're already in Algebra 1, more than likely they would continue into geometry, all right, in the pathway that they've been in. But we really would make that recommendation for those students who are behind.
Is this an online program or is this a teacher-led program?
It's teacher-led, but it is also, it has a digital and a hard copy version so that students can also access it in their language choice, I guess.
Yeah.
It said it had over 100 languages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and you know, it's going to assess them. It has assessments built in. It also has project-based learning opportunities, and it also, the program will help the teachers group students based on where they are. And so it's much more, I believe, focused on moving each individual student as opposed to everybody's got to get through Algebra 1 at a better pace.
And so we'll pilot it for 1 year and then
Well, we would like to recommend integrated 1, 2, and 3 right now to say, you know what, kind of like we have STEM science 1, 2, and 3, but we would start with integrated 1, then sophomore year, it'd be, you know, we would offer to freshmen integrated 1, integrated 2 sophomore year, integrated 3 senior year, and then you'll see on item 2, our recommendation is for seniors to have financial literacy their senior year. Or if they're, all students would, that's a whole nother topic. Okay, let me stay on an integrated.
Well, and I think the thing I like about that also is you're able to, 1 year you're not going to be able to see that movement. So I like that the commitment that I'm hearing is that it's going to happen over a long haul so that you can see is this working and our kids can have the opportunity to be more successful.
What we're doing is not successful.
Right.
So we have to figure out a way to move them quicker, faster, I guess.
And I think my only other thing is professional development to make sure that our teachers have what they need to be able to do it successfully.
And you know, it will take time.
Right.
That's what we experienced with STEM scopes, is we brought it in, we did the PD, they did it for a year, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, I want some professional development. It was like, oh, we gave you professional development. We'll continue to give you professional development. But until they really get in there, it's like, I don't know what questions to ask type of thing. And so now going into here we are 3 years with STEM scopes, and now it's just embraced, and it's because we are getting the results. And I believe we wouldn't be where we're at with science if we hadn't done something differently. So, not that we're putting all our hope in this, but we are being very targeted both with what's happening at middle school and how we can move these.
Well, what we're doing isn't working, and so we have to figure out
how many classes we'll have.
So I couldn't hear.
Do you have any idea how many classes or how many teachers will be involved?
So no, not yet. I can answer that question probably for you on Friday, because we are in the process of building that schedule and looking how many students are been put in there and working through the master part of that.
maybe an update at the April meeting
Yeah, I
would be
can give you
great.
an update. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. I can do an update then and let you know how many sections and how many classes that would be. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and teachers are going to volunteer to do this or be voluntold to do this?
Kind of like scheduling, what works in the schedule. And you know, it's also about best
Teacher
fit.
doesn't buy into it. It's not going to have.
Right, it has to be best fit. Is it,
Yes.
are you a person that we could say this would be really good for kids
if you took this on,
Yeah.
you know, so, yeah.
Mr. Williams, do you have anything else to add?
Well, just to answer Ms. Ansel's question as far as teacher buy-in. We started this after we got our last scores back from the state, which aren't very good. And I presented in the PLC, the math department, what we're doing is not working. And before the state or somebody comes in to tell us what's doing, what are the recommendations that you have? And one of the things that they talked about as a group was an integrated math. And we said, that's a great idea. And so from there, with Dr. Parker, with Lacey, with some of our math team, we came together and kind of put down the guidelines of how do we select kids? How were kids determined to go in there? So it was off the MOI from their iReady scores that they take in their 8th grade year. And there's so many grade levels behind. Well, that's a good baseline for us to start. So our teachers are already buying into what's taking place because they're wanting to move that ball forward as well.
So have they seen this program, I assume? Or?
Yes, so this has been shared with them. Ms. Taylor has talked to the group as well, and they're on board with what we're trying to do, yes.
Other questions?
No, I'm good. Not
Very
till April.
exciting. Superintendent's recommendation.
To approve, please. Yes. Like Dr. Parker and Mr. Williams said, we've got to do something totally different with our math.
Well, we want our
because
kids to be
just-
successful,
Yes.
and if this isn't working, then finding something else. And I know it takes a lot of time, but thank you for working on this. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the integrated math pathway for starting FY '26?
I so move.
Second.
Okay.
Huh?
Since appropriate, you made the motion.
Yeah, there you go. All right, next item, and they, like Dr. Parker said, these kind of dovetail together. Consider approval of adjustments to the graduation requirements. So.
Thank you. We're excited about this agenda item. As you recall, when the new graduation requirements came out, I did a crosswalk for you of what we do and what the requirements are, and then now it's time to act on that. And so we still haven't gotten anything from Policy Services.
I did check on that.
But because we have all of the materials, I wanted to go ahead and share with you, I guess, our recommendation on how to move forward. So I had several attachments for you. One of them is this manual, which is really good and spells out, here's the change, here's what we're looking at. And the key page that I referenced in everything that we're doing is the page 5, key changes. And because that's the greatest impact for us. And so we, as I shared a while ago about if they're doing work-based, if a student is doing work-based learning, some of that can count as math credit. And in order for it to count as math credit, they have to have certain scores, and that's also included in here, on their SAT, their PSAT, the reading and math. And so there's certain requirements so that we know that that child is successful already in math to be able to earn work-based learning. So that's what the first key change is, and then the elimination, removal of Algebra 2. And then, again, they can do Algebra 1, Health, or Geometry, which we don't do, but Health and Algebra 1 still in middle school. And then it keeps the honors and the AP and our dual credit. A key component is the next to the last bullet, the local education agency 2 units. And so we have a recommendation for you. I put together the current, it says Leamington High School course plan overview with the graduation requirements. The new total is 24. And of those 24, 15 would be their core. 4 English, 4 math, 3 science, and 4 social studies. And then the 1.5 for 1 credit of PE and 0.5 for health. 2 district requirements, which we're recommending, and we can discuss that a little bit more. 1 unit for a capstone project,
and then 1 unit for communication skills. And then a requirement, a key change is that students must have 2 units of a 2-unit pathway, all right? So that means like if they're in band 1, they have to be in band 2, or if they're in Spanish 1, they have to be in Spanish 2. Something that would be a 2 pathway, 2 credits in that. If they're in OPEP 1 and then they're in OPEP 2, so that they check that box for every student, starting with next year's freshman class, by the time they graduate, would have a 2-unit pathway, because they want them to have at least some concentration. And then the 3.5 remainder of that would be electives. And so we gave you below that the course progression by grade level. See, you see their freshman year, English 1 or pre-AP English 1, integrated math, algebra 1 or geometry, and we go through and show you what they would take, whereas down to the senior year, embedded in the change is that students would either have as an elective or a requirement the financial literacy. And so our recommendation would be that all seniors would be a senior level math, either a 1 year that counts as their 4th year of math of financial literacy, or if they are, if they're an AP math student, a nerdy college student, a dual credit student, we would recommend that that student, because they have a different 4th year for math, they would just take the 0.5 a semester course of financial literacy, so they fulfill that.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So that every senior would have financial literacy. If you take it for your math credit, it's a full year. If not, you do have to take it as an elective for a semester.
So it's required, but it depends on which pathway you're on. Okay.
As to whether
Because you
it's
can count it for your math, but then that requires the full year. Okay. I just want
if
to make sure.
if you're an AP student, you will have
Sure.
to take a semester of financial literacy as an elective credit.
Okay.
In order to have that financial literacy on your transcript.
Okay. I like the way you laid this out. It's very good.
So our recommendation is conversation, I guess, for what would the board like for the 2 district requirements?
And what is the recommendation that
It's the
you are,
capstone and-
the capstone project?
Capstone and communications.
Okay.
Capstone and what, I'm sorry?
Communications.
Oh.
A capstone would be a senior class. The communication skills we could offer to sophomores, juniors, and seniors, because we believe that what they'll learn in there, besides just not communication skills as many of us know, like public speaking and that sort of thing. Well, these students tonight, I thought, were a perfect example of communication skills. You know, so that every student would know how to fill out a job application, how to greet someone, how to introduce themselves, how to function after they get out of high school in a way that fulfills that communication attribute on our portrait of a Wildcats, and the communication piece, you know, so that we really are making sure that we're zeroing in and targeting what we expect our graduates to walk out of the high school with. So,
And it really ties in with our portrait of a Wildcat.
Yes.
So it really pulls in there.
in all of this that we did, we tried to align with both the attributes and the strategic plan and what our focus is as a district.
What year do they take health?
8th grade.
So what do they do the other semester, since health is a semester? What do they do the other?
I'm sorry.
What do they do the other semester?
In 8th grade? Is that what you're asking?
Isn't health 1 semester?
Dr. Parker created the course overview for Taylor for you, and so there is electives there that they can choose from to offset. Yes,
So
ma'am.
as a senior, if they're going to take 1 semester of financial literacy, what do they do the other semester?
Take an elective.
Another elective.
That's only the students who are advanced level math students, so they can take another elective opposite that.
Like what? What do we offer?
Well, if you look at this course description, all of the electives are listed in this course description.
They're all one semester electives.
Not all of them, some of them are a year, but many of them, there was several. I'm looking at the last page, and it has Society and the Law, one semester, Introduction to Robotics, that's a year, Interpersonal Communication, a semester, Public Speaking, a semester.
But they're already taking a year of communication, right?
That would be that's just what we're saying, a requirement, instead of requiring a foreign language or requiring something that we don't necessarily have as a district a value on. But there are many semester classes. Could take another, their athletic class could be a semester if they're in a sport. So this is just an introduction to, I guess, the graduation requirements. Also, I'd like to bring your attention, because we did Taylor in the high school, we also put in New Hope's, the courses that are offered at New Hope, so you could see they offer some pretty amazing courses there as well. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of what was going on in secondary.
Thank you for that. Those are handy to have. Okay, questions from the board?
This is an action item for us to vote on tonight?
It is if we so choose. If you don't feel comfortable with that,
I'd like a chance to look at it more closely.
okay. So you would like to?
I'm sorry, I didn't print all this out today and look at it.
Okay, okay. So you want to table it for next month?
Until April.
Okay.
Is that a problem as far as your master plan stuff?
When do they start?
No, the freshmen,
registering? Freshmen are kind of locked in anyway.
It's not an issue,
yeah.
because the freshmen are pretty locked in. We've approved the integrated math. That's going to impact the freshmen. The other is saying, okay, where are we headed? And if we adopt this, what does that look like? And so, you could also say you want the two district requirements to just be electives, and throw them into that too. So everything else is pretty locked in. It's just that really there's no flexibility. What's on here is locked in except for the two district. What are we going to do with those two credits, those two units? And again, you could say we don't want to do anything and we just want them as electives. So.
Well, thank you for having all this for us. So do I hear a motion to table this?
I so move.
Second.
And so I'm going to ask that we just, Vanessa, if you can just include all of these documents in the April, there would not need to be, unless something else came up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If the board wants some additional information prior, then we'll sure let the superintendent know. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, we're going to move on to item 3, consider approval for out-of-state travel. And we have 3 different groups, Ballet Folklorico, DECA, and Robotics.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start with Ms. Lopez and Ballet.
You were ready last month.
Here we go. Before anything, I want to say thank you for letting me be here. So our travel will be to the University of Texas Permian Basin in Odessa. Last year, I wanted somehow to get our kids to go experience and see a university, and because a lot of our students really do not have that opportunity. So I researched, found some in California, found some way out in Texas, and then I found Odessa, and they have a Ballet Folklorico team. We were able to visit the university. They got to see the university, They were able to tour, and just listening to the students, they were so excited. Can I come to the school? How can I go to the university? These are 4th grade to 7th grade students that were asking me all these questions, and I was like, there's a way you can get here, and, you know, I wanted to put that little seed in them where, you know, unfortunately, a lot of our community don't have that opportunity. They don't have the support. A lot of their parents have never been to a university or have gone to school beyond high school. So I really wanted them, I just didn't want it to be like about dance, but I wanted them to have, you know, to know that there was something else out there for them. These are students, sometimes they're not into sports, they're not into robotics, they're not into all these awesome other programs. So dance is their way, their outlet. So I just wanted to let you know that part before I asked if we were be able to go and visit the university and take our students. We started with 12 kids. We're up to 30 students from fourth grade to high school. 3 of our high school students have been with us since fourth grade, and they'll be graduating this year, and they're all going to university, either to Las Cruces, the junior college, or somewhere else. But we're very excited and happy for them. So I really want our little ones to come, you know, see that example, and that's why I really wanted to find somewhere to take them. And fortunately, we have the university in Odessa. Albuquerque has one too, Ballet Folklorico, but we're closer over here, so.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is great. Questions from the board? What a wonderful
Appreciate all the
opportunity
time.
for our students, and you do such an amazing job with those students. And I like what you said, it's an experience, and it kind of plants that seed. So then, you know, going to a different college campus and to see things, so that's great. That is great. Okay, superintendent's recommendation?
I recommend we approve.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the travel for the ballet folklore? You know what, we've got to take it all in one, so hold that thought. It's all on one agenda item, so it'll be one thing, but the superintendent recommends it, and I don't hear any questions from the board, so thank you very much. Okay, next one is DECA. Y'all gonna dance or what? I thought y'all were dancing.
It's exciting that we have the 2 young ladies that were qualified for the Nationals. I believe Nationals is in Orlando, Florida this year. With DECA, it's kind of a quick turnaround. They go to state, they compete, they find out, and then they got to know almost that night whether they were going to attend Nationals. And so last year we were unable to because we didn't know that turnaround, something that we learned this year. So I believe you've got the information on DECA travel too, and it's going to be quite an experience. Unfortunately, Mr. Crawford will not be able to attend. He's got tennis. They then asked myself, and I would love to, but I've got prom and awards assembly that I cannot attend. Mr. Sloan looked at it. I think he's got state powerlifting taking place at about that time. So we have Mr. Faust and Miss Faust, Sheridan's parents, which are both employees of the school district, that would be able to chaperone the 2 young ladies to that competition, which works out well for us and them as a family as well to watch their kiddo.
Absolutely.
I was really hoping that they was gonna move DECA. You know, I had a little influence that they moved the national competition a week back, so I'd be able to go. We'd be able to go, but
I missed out on Disney World by that much. Oh, my goodness.
That's a great opportunity, and we certainly, as you were saying all these people couldn't go, I thought, I don't want our students to not have this opportunity, so that is fantastic, and it's great that Sheridan's folks can go, and kind of a win-win there.
Perkins Grant's paying for the.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
That's awesome.
And to that end as well, Dr. Parker and Andy Sloan has done a fantastic job of taking care of the DECA program.
Good.
So I wanted to let you guys know that they've done
That's
a great
so
job.
great.
So thank you.
That's an exciting thing, so. Okay, questions from the board? Superintendent's recommendation?
To approve.
Okay, all right, thank you, guys. And our last one is robotics. Where is it?
So any questions? Because I have to say, you know, this is probably the furthest robotics has ever been offered to be traveled to. It's in South Bend, Indiana. And so it's almost like it was kind of a quick turnaround, but at the same time, it's not till June. But, but in order to make everything cheaper, that's why we put it in for right now. So if you guys, any questions?
How fun. Questions from the board?
I know that y'all have gotten some grant money in the past. Will any of that cover some of the travel expenses or?
We have, HF Sinclair will be giving us $10,000.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, thank you.
Towards travel and.
Towards travel and hotel, flight and hotels.
Okay.
Well, that's 2/3 of it right there.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
Very generous, very generous. Okay.
That's fantastic.
And then the rest, I know they have other monies that already that's been
Right.
from HF Sinclair and other fundraisings that they have done in the past. And I know these guys are they going to be doing a fundraiser?
They have some fundraisers, and they're also looking into, they've inquired about the program that they have that you talked to me about yesterday.
Through the city.
Through the city, and I contacted an individual today, and they would have to do 4 hours, I believe, of community service for $800, so it's.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's great. Fun. You guys ever been there?
Never.
Okay. All right.
I think just one question I had, I mean, this is just a clarification deal, is on, like on the other out-of-state travels, the meals are $12 a day, and these are at $20 a day?
Well,
Is it just different places, or?
I've never been there, so I didn't know what.
Right, I just was
what the
curious.
cost is, and I don't want.
Yeah, I don't want to short.
If we fly over there, we do not have a way to get around. So I don't know if usually if you're there in the place where they're having it, food.
Much
more
expensive. Maybe more expensive.
Captive audience.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's at a convention center, so
Like, yeah.
we're gonna probably be walking around kind of like a downtown area. I'm not, or hotel food. So
Yeah, it's much more expensive there, so, yeah.
Do y'all use the CATS, KATS or KATZ?
I was just informed that I had it wrong, that it's with an S.
It's with an S?
Yes.
What's the deal with the K? I'm just curious.
Well,
Just because? Be different, I guess?
They just wanted to be different.
Yeah.
They're all seniors, you know.
So and then to go along with it, there's 2 teams, and last year we had RoboCats 1 and 2, and it was with everyone at the competition. It was kind of a confusion thing. So this year they decided to have the RoboCats and then the Black Cats. That way they wanted to keep the cats and for Lovington, but at least be distinguishable from the other team to not cause confusion for the event supervisors.
I call team 1 and team 2. And then sometimes I forget their numbers because one is 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, and the other one is 2, 4, 6, 8, 5. So,
All right. Any other questions from the board? Superintendent's recommendation.
To approve.
Okay. So thanks to all of you for staying and presenting for that. Do I hear a motion to approve the out-of-state travel that has been presented tonight?
So much.
Second.
Okay. All right, thank you. Next item, consider approval of out-of-country student travel. That's a whole different.
It's a whole different ballgame.
It is.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr.
No,
Oh. All right, so this is Ms. Roberts. She's our lead sponsor. She has taken over for the EF Tours from Andy Sloan. This year, Andy and his group, I think they're traveling to France, and they're going to look at the beaches of Normandy and so forth. Last year, I had the privilege of going with Andy to Spain and tour Spain. It's phenomenal, the educational experience when you're walking across a Roman bridge and seeing, you think we've got old history. Go to Spain, they've got old history. So this year, with him kind of passing this along to us, we met with EF Tours, and we're proposing to go to Peru, to go to Machu Picchu, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. This would be in June of 2026, so we're looking at about 15 months away from now. I believe the student cost is around 35,
40,
45,
45,
yeah,
44?
40,
Yes, what it
43,
looks like, yeah.
and then the adults is 51, somewhere in there. So you're around $269 a month to $314 a month if we can get this approved and start advertising. We're looking at individuals no younger than 14, so we're really looking 8th grade up. Also with if they're employees of the district, so if you have like myself, last year I took my daughter who goes to school at Liberty. She went with us because I'm here at the district, so they had to have the connection with the district. So if they're a teacher that is over at 3rd grade and their student goes to school with us, or an 8th grader at Taylor Middle School, by all means, that would be a way, but we're not opening it up to the whole county or anyone else. It's really with our students, our people. We don't want to do that. We don't know them. So.
How many do we have going on this year? Do we know?
This year, I do not know. I did not ask Andy.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Last year, when we went to Spain, I believe we had 8. That included 4 students, myself, Miss Barber, Andy, and his wife. Yes, so that was 8
Okay,
that
so
went.
4. Okay. Have you ever done anything like this before, Ms.?
Yes, I have. I actually worked with a different company in a different district down the street.
We'll have to talk about that.
Next.
It's okay. We got her back over here.
That's right, that's right. Well, and that's a big job, so thank you for being willing to take that on. Questions from the board?
Is there a minimum number of participants?
There has to be at least 6 paying
At least
participants.
6? Okay.
And when do you announce this for the kids to start thinking about? Is it when they come back to school, or do you go ahead and start working on it pretty quickly?
With your approval, we'll start right away.
Oh,
I think at the end of this month, right after spring break, we'll try to have our first meeting
Okay.
and starting to advertise it so that we can start getting people on board.
I'll actually start putting up posters tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then doing fundraisers or whatever, yeah, so. Okay, any other questions from the board? Superintendent's recommendation.
To approve.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the out-of-country student travel for June of 2026?
So move.
I'll second.
Okay.
And come along with us.
I've been on a couple of the trips and they're phenomenal.
Yes, they are.
I mean, you see things that you read about, but.
That's great. And thank you, Ms. Roberts, for being willing to step up and do that.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item, consider approval of disposal of assets.
I'm asking for your consideration to dispose of 2 Suburbans.
Yeah, that have 0 book value. The mileage wasn't on here, but I could only guess what the mileage was, so. Okay, questions from the board?
Are they gonna pay us the $1,500 or do we have to pay them to come get it?
Wow. They've had a life well lived, I believe. All right, do I hear a motion to approve the disposal of assets presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at that and saw those 2 old Suburbans on there. Okay, next item, first reading to consider approval for policy services advisories 246 through 260
Yes, ma'am.
for your nighttime reading.
Yes, it was fun. So Policy Advisory 246 is basically about the retiree return to work, that we communicate what that policy is to our employees who retire and guide them in the right way to file for that. The other ones are basically talking about adding the word nicotine into our policies, that it is prohibited on campus, out of town functions, anything that has to do with the school. So it was basically a cleanup from 247, I believe, to 260 about adding that word nicotine in there, that it is prohibited.
Because it used to just always say tobacco.
It
And so
did.
now it's gonna say nicotine in addition to tobacco.
Yes, yes. And then that we have to post that around our district, that it's not allowed on campus and on the school buses, out-of-town trips, by students, staff, or any community members that are on our premises. It's basically what the 246 through 260 state. There are some policies that have been deleted because of the cleanup. It was just redundant, so they just kind of put it all together. So,
Okay. And this is a first reading, so board members can read through it, and if you have any questions between now and April, certainly reach out to the superintendent on that.
and President Maker, it also stated about the consequences of what would happen if that was violated. So.
And is that way out of line of what we already have?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's not.
We'll just need to be sure and double check that. Okay. Okay, thank you. Moving into other information, just a quick rundown. We do have the Region 6 board meeting in Artesia the Monday after we come back from spring break. So Vanessa needs to know in the next 23 minutes if you're going to be going. And the annual conference in Atlanta, Georgia, if you're going to be attending that. And then also spring budget in Albuquerque in April. So just double check your schedules. If you're going to go, you need to let Vanessa know as quickly as possible. So, and that our last item is public comment time. Is there anybody here tonight who wishes to speak on public comment? Okay, hearing none. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And the robotics team would like to show off their.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yay.
All right. All right. So the meeting's adjourned.
Over there, and I was like, why don't we get to see?
Okay. Well, one time we wanted to play with it, and I think that scared them. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes.
Of course. Please. The second page.
You know, I'm always there for you. Always. I told him he didn't look like he was feeling good. He goes, you know how to make me feel loved, you know? I just knew you'd been really sick.
I will not be able to go to Artesia.
Okay.
And then I'll be in Washington DC for the spring budget workshop.
Okay, so for Atlanta, I got you registered and got your room, but you said you had your flights, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll bring those to you. When we go and get back.
Okay.
Make you have to reimburse something.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
We're watching.
I was reading it.